welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I am finally finding the time to sit down and film my everyday makeup routine for you guys. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. This is probably my most highly requested video on my channel. So I have both of the girls upstairs taking their morning nap, so fingers crossed they stay asleep. So I'm just going to get ready with you guys on camera and walk you guys through each of the products that I use on an everyday basis. I use things from drugstore to high-end, and some drugstore products I honestly have been using for years and I want to share them with you guys. So I will link everything that I use in the description box. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the only thing I have on my face right now is my moisturizer and my primer. So the moisturizer I use on an everyday basis is Cetaphil, and you can get it at Target, Walmart, CVS. I think every drugstore carries it. And then the primer that I use is by Smashbox, and it is their Photo Finish primer. I like this primer a lot because it's just a really good universal primer. No matter what your skin type is, you're bound to really like that one. And I noticed that if I don't wear a primer, my makeup won't last as long. So since I'm a mom, I don't really have time to reapply my makeup throughout the day and touch up. So I really like using primers for that reason. So moving on to foundation now. The one that I'm using currently is by L'Oreal. It's their True Match Lumi foundation, and I am in the shade Natural Beige W4. And I will just take my Real Techniques beauty sponge and pump a little bit on the back of it and just stipple it onto my face. I like this beauty sponge a lot better than the original Beauty Blender because it has a flat side and a pointed side. I think the Beauty Blender just has a pointed side. So that's why I like this one a little bit better. And if you guys have never tried a Beauty Blender, you seriously need to try it. It is a game changer when it comes to makeup. So I have used so many different foundations. I go back and forth from drugstore to high-end, but when I find a good drugstore foundation, sorry if you see me looking down, I'm looking in my mirror right here. But when I find a good drugstore foundation, I'm like all over it. And I think this is like $10, and it's a really good foundation. So I have oily combination skin for reference, but I like this foundation because it's really glowy. It gives your skin like a really pretty natural glow. It also has really good coverage. I would say it's like a medium coverage foundation, and it's definitely buildable. So on an everyday basis, I normally just do one layer, but if I do have any breakouts or any redness on my face, then I'll just take a little bit more on the back of my beauty sponge, just like a little pump, and then kind of like stipple over wherever my redness is. I don't do this on every day, but if I have like an extra minute or two, which is rare these days, then that is what I will do. So I was breaking out pretty bad the other week, so I'm just trying to cover some of the redness I have on my cheeks. Turn my phone off. Okay, so now that I have the desired coverage that I want, I'm going to move on now to my concealer. And the concealer that I'm using right now is by Tarte. It's the Shape Tape Concealer. I'm sure plenty of you guys have heard of it. It really is a good full coverage concealer. So I am just going to put a little bit does go a long way with this stuff. It's pretty thick, but it does a really good job of concealing. So I'm just gonna put a little bit underneath my eyes to brighten that area a little bit because I'm seriously up all night with Shay, you guys. It's so bad. Last night, I think she was up every 45 minutes, and I'm like, no, it's not getting any better. It's like getting worse. So again, I'm going to use my Real Techniques beauty sponge, and I'm going to use the pointed edge and then blend it out. And whatever is left on my Beauty Blender, I will kind of take it into the crease of my eye because I don't wear an eye primer because I don't really wear eyeshadow. You guys will see what I do in a little bit, but I do have a little bit of veins on the top of my eyelids, so to conceal that, I just run whatever is left on my beauty sponge over my eyelid, just to kind of make everything look seamless. Okay, so now I'm going to set my under eyes with my Mercier translucent setting powder. I cannot say enough good things about this, you guys. It is so good, and it is pretty pricey, but it's seriously worth every single penny in my opinion. So I'm just gonna set my under eyes just so it doesn't crease throughout the day. So I don't set my entire face with this on an everyday basis because I use a powder for that, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But if I am filming videos or I want like a more full coverage look, then I will set my entire face with this after my powder. Because I have larger pores, this stuff really makes the illusion that your skin is like porcelain. It really does take away like all of your pores and makes your face just look flawless. So if you guys have not tried this stuff, you need to. I think they make a smaller version of it at Sephora in case you don't want to buy the full one and you want to just try it out, but I definitely recommend it. So now to set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using my Covergirl True Blend powder, and I am in the shade Translucent Medium. And you guys, I tell everyone I know about this powder because it's so good, and it's like less than $10 and you can get it at any drugstore. And to apply it, I will use my e.l.f. Kabuki face brush, and I just tap it into the product and then stipple it on. I don't want to brush because I don't want to move around my foundation. So I'm not using a lot of it, but I don't want my foundation to move throughout the day. So not only is this powder extremely affordable, but it really does a good job at covering everything I need to, and it just really evens out my skin tone. Plus I think it helps my bronzer go on a lot smoother, and it really just like locks everything into place. So now moving on to bronzer, I'm using my Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. I really like this stuff, you guys. As you can tell, I've used it like crazy. I like it because it's a perfect neutral shade, so it's gonna work for a lot of different skin tones, and it's also extremely blendable. So I'm gonna start in my, up towards my ear and then just kind of work back. So and then I will take a little bit and go over my nose. And I also blend it into my hairline. So this just kind of gives the illusion that you were in the sun all day, and it gives you like that sun-kissed look. And it really just kind of like blends everything together and makes it look more seamless. And then I'll take a little bit on my chin. Okay, now I'm gonna move on to blush. So the one that I use on an everyday basis, I tend to switch it up a lot, but I've really been grabbing for this one a lot lately, and it's the NARS Orgasm blush. I like it because it's extremely pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way, and I think it's like the perfect shade for fall. So I just put a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. And I don't normally wear a highlighter on an everyday basis because I don't really like the way it looks on me, but this blush has like gold specks in it. So I like it for that reason, because it gives my cheeks a little bit of glow and sheen to it without wearing a highlighter. I'll take a little bit on my nose. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my brows, and right now I'm using the Precise My Brow Pencil by Benefit. So first I'm going to brush my brows up. I like that like messy kind of full brow look, so I brush all my hairs straight up. And I'm obsessed with this brow pencil, so I got it, I would say like a month ago, and I honestly won't use anything else because it really does give you hair-like strokes. So I'm not the best at filling out my brows. I'm gonna bring this mirror a little bit closer so I can see. But I just need to fill in a little bit in the front. The rest of my brows are pretty full. There's some sparse areas, so I'm just gonna use like the lightest hand and just kind of go over any sparse areas and fill them in like super lightly. So I'm using like the lightest hand to do this. Okay, one brow is done, so now I'm gonna move on to the next one. That literally took me like less than 30 seconds. Some days are easier than others. But I don't know if I could do microblading. I'm too scared because I feel like it's, like, what if you don't like it? If you guys have done it and you liked it, let me know your experience in the comments, because I'm kind of on the fence if I want to do it or not. Okay, so now I'm going to brush through them with my spoolie, just to kind of like disperse everything so that there's no harsh lines. Okay, so not the best, but you get the idea. And then to set that, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. I'm just gonna run through everything I just did. This stuff is like super glue for your eyelashes, you guys. It really does like help keep everything in place for you. And being a mom, I have like hands all over me, all over my face constantly. So this really helps to keep my brows looking fierce. Even though they don't look fierce, but I'm gonna pretend they do. Okay, now I'm going to line my eyes. So to do that, I've been using the Kat Von D liquid liner for years because it's so good and it's user friendly. It has like the smallest little felt tip, so it really does give you like that precise line. And honestly, practice makes perfect, but I've been doing my liner the same way for years and years, like ever since I was like in middle school, I think. So I've been doing it for a long time and I'm still not perfect at it. Some days are better than others, obviously, but what I do is I just bring it into the inner corner of my eye, draw a straight line over my eyelid, and then flick it out at the end. And it's gonna be kind of hard to show you guys on camera, so I'm gonna do it off camera and then I'll come back when it's all done. Okay, my liner is on and I missed a step when I was doing my bronzer. And I normally do this before I do my liner, but I just take like a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and all the brushes that I use are from Amazon. I got them a while ago, but if I can find them, I'll link them for you guys. So I take my bronzer that I used for the rest of my face, and this is all I do for my eye look. On an everyday basis, I will just kind of carve out my crease. Because I have big eyelids, I like to do this. So I'll just take a little bit of bronzer and just contour my eyelids. So I take like the smallest amount of product and just kind of blend it out and upwards. And then I will highlight the inner corner of my eye, and I'm just using this small little, what's it called? Contouring eyeshadow brush. And what I'm going to use to do that is by Sephora. The top of it broke, but this is what it looks like. And it is in the shade Micro Smooth Baked Luminizer in the color Stardust. But again, I will link all of these products for you guys in the description. So I just take a little bit of it on this brush and I will just highlight the inner corner of my eye. I feel like this just kind of like brightens my eye and makes me look more awake because I'm a tired mama and I need all the help I can get. Okay, so that is literally all I do for my eye look. So now is when I would move into my mascara, but as you guys can probably tell, I have lash extensions and I don't use mascara over them, and I don't even use mascara on my bottom lashes because I feel like it kind of closes my eye up, and I do have pretty small eyes as it is. But when I didn't have my lash extensions, I was using the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I like it because it does a good job at thickening and lengthening your lashes. I rotate between this one and the Better Than Sex mascara. So I'm not going to put any mascara on, and that honestly cuts like 5 minutes out of my routine. So moving on to lips, and I keep forgetting steps, you guys, because I've never done my makeup on camera. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm missing a few things that I normally do. But before I do my lip combo, if I want the appearance of bigger lips, and I don't do this on an everyday basis, but I will for the sake of the video, to make the appearance of bigger lips, what I do is take the same fluffy blending brush I used for the crease of my eyes and pick up a little bit of bronzer and then just kind of put a little bit underneath the bottom of your lip, and this will give the appearance of bigger lips. So I take like barely any product and then just kind of like fluff it underneath your bottom lip. So now I'll move into whatever lip combo I'm going to be wearing for the day, and you guys ask me a lot in my videos what combo I have on my lips, and 99% of the time it is this lip combo right here. So it's Nice and Spicy Liner by MAC, and then Blankety Lipstick also by MAC. It's just a really good everyday nude lip. And I do kind of overline a little bit, but that tip kind of helps make you look like you have bigger lips. And then I will bring the liner in a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my Blankety lipstick, and I'll just dab it on the center of my lips. And then you can use a brush or your finger for this, but just make sure everything is like blended together. Okay, and then to finish the look, what I use is a finishing spray. Normally on an everyday basis, I use Max Fix Plus, but I ran out of that like a couple days ago, but that is a really good finishing spray. But right now I'm using the Coconut Water by Pearlescence. So I like using a finishing spray just to kind of like lock my makeup into place so it doesn't move throughout the day. And I like this one because it smells really good. It smells like coconuts, and it does a good job at like taking away that powdery finish on your face and making it look more like skin. Spray a couple sprays. Okay, so here is the final look. As you guys can tell, it was nothing groundbreaking or anything, but these are definitely all products that I use on an everyday basis. So again, I will leave links for all of them in the description box for you guys. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.